Street Fighter and Mega Man, the Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage of popular Capcom video games in the early 90s. These would function as two of the true mega powers of gaming at the dawn of that decade, which made it all the more cooler when we had the opportunity to make them team up or face off into critically acclaimed Marvel vs Capcom down the line. But this 1998 crossover is not the video game we shall be heavily spotlighting today. In fact, while on the subject of Mega Man and Street Fighter, nor will we be focusing on the ambitious 2012 fan project known as Street Fighter X Mega Man, which even received official support from Capcom. Instead, we shall be revisiting the most ludicrous of all Mega Man and Street Fighter collaborations. The time someone thought it would be a great idea to add Mega Man to a Street Fighter roster, but chose to make him look like this. As hilarious and ridiculous as this incident was, rather predictably, amongst Mega Man fans it would cause its fair share of outrage. So with all of that said, let's look at this hilarious chapter in gaming history and why exactly Capcom decided to hideously butcher their beloved Blue Bomber. Yeah. 2012 was an interesting time period for fighting games, as well as the Street Fighter brand overall. In recent years, Street Fighter 4 had proven itself to be a success, which paved the way for multiple reiterations, the emergence of Marvel vs Capcom 3, and even the more quirky Tatsunoko vs Capcom. Street Fighter, along with its penchant for fighting game crossovers, was back, leading to a game that no one asked for, but we would subsequently get anyway. I am of course talking about Street Fighter X Tekken, a fighting game that would cross over two of the most iconic fighting game franchises in history. While such a concept is cool to be fair, no one had previously been clamouring for it, as Street Fighter games had traditionally mostly been in 2D, whereas Tekken was in 3D, thus people didn't associate them together. If say Street Fighter vs Mortal Kombat had been announced though, for example, that would have functioned as a dream game players fantasised about for decades, much like Capcom vs SNK before it became a reality. Now, in the past on this channel we have already talked about this game at length, so if you want to learn more about it, go and watch my old video. This video is very much about Mega Man's inclusion in this weird crossover, so let's stay focused on that part of the tale. But before we progress further, I just wanted to give a quick massive thank you to everyone who is subscribed to this channel. Gaming videos on YouTube are mainly pushed when creators cover trending topics, so if you want to continue to see my uploads, be sure to hit that subscribe button now. You have no idea how much that would help this channel grow, so thank you for that so much. I love you very much. As for Mega Man's emergence in Street Fighter X Tekken, he, along with several other characters, would be announced as exclusives for the PlayStation 3 and Vita versions of the game, with the Blue Bomber becoming the DLC content as of March the 13th, 2012. A Destructoid article from before the now infamous character was announced can be found online, which comments on the trailer that would give clues regarding Mega Man's surfacing in the game. It reads, "The craziest reveal of the video comes at the very end, during a highlight of the PS Vita version of the game. That's where we get a look at two mysterious silhouettes. One looks like Pac-Man and the other looks like a guy in a Mega Man suit. That could mean a new weird realistic Mega Man redesign, Frank West dressed as Mega Man, Bad Art Mega Man, a crazed ready to punch Seth Killian in the face because he single-handedly killed Mega Man cosplayer dressed as Mega Man, or any number of other things." In a hilarious twist, one of these wacky predictions would end up coming true, with a Capcom trailer for Street Fighter X Tekken showing Mega Man off in the game on January the 27th, 2012. Bad NES North American box art Mega Man was fighting alongside the likes of Ken, Zangief, Chun-Li and company. Bloody genius. As you can see from some of these comments on this video, how people perceived this both then and now was very varied, with some hailing this to be one of the greatest things to ever happen, with others fuming that Capcom was showing a flagrant disrespect for one of the company's most flagship characters. This fighter, who people speculated existed purely to troll a portion of the overzealous Mega Man fandom, certainly raised a lot of interesting questions, with many fans desperate to know why such an abomination was included in the game. DualShockers.com would report that one fan on Twitter reached out to Street Fighter producer Yoshinori Ono to try and find out why such an incarnation was chosen over the Mega Man everyone knows and loves. The answer was very insightful and rather surprising. DualShockers.com outlined that it turns out that this version of Mega Man was requested specifically by Keiji Inafune himself, one of the key artists who worked on the series, who is often credited as being the father of the character. DualShockers wrote, apparently Ono-san had a consultation with Inafune-san about Mega Man's inclusion in Street Fighter X Tekken. The result of this consultation is bad box art Mega Man as a playable character in one of this year's biggest fighting games. Personally, I find this character atrocious and think Capcom could have did much better for console exclusive characters. Building on this story, reportedly Ono originally wanted to include traditional Mega Man in the game, but Inafune was not fond of the idea, stating that it's not interesting, we have seen Mega Man in fighting games before, and then asked Ono to give him something original. Megaman.fandom outlines that Ono then decided to use the Mega Man from the awful North American box art for the first Mega Man game, and make it even wackier, by presuming that bad box art Mega Man has aged since his picture was taken and used in the US box art 25 years ago. Ono said that Inafune loved the idea, and that was what led to his inclusion. For obvious reasons, many fans obviously had their pitchforks ready for this one, particularly when we take into account that many were still seething over the cancellation of Mega Man Legends 3. Capcom's ongoing treatment of the character was beginning to be considered controversial, to say the least. To make this all the more hilarious, and an angle I had never considered up until now, is that even in Japan this character was known as Mega Man, which is pretty hilarious when we consider that the traditional Mega Man was always called Rockman over there. This allowed Capcom to present this character as the fat, all-American bumbling equivalent to their more iconic Rockman. Being an American rather than an arm cannon, he of course has a gun, because Second Amendment I guess. Over I guess this one was Rockman and this one is Mega Man. So with all of that said, who exactly is Fat American Mega Man? Rather than explain his in-game introductory scene, I may as well show you for myself. It's certainly a quick and easy way to grasp his in-game story.
One day, Mega Man learned about the meteorite that landed in the Antarctic from his good friend and companion, Roll. Roll guesses that the box that was contained inside the meteorite could be from an ancient civilization.
Be serious, Roll! That thing came from outer space! There's no way it could be!
Some sort of an ancient man-made satellite!
Not wanting to debate, Mega Man travels to the South Pole in search of the satellite.
Even if it's empty, the box itself could be useful. Good luck, Mega Man!
All right.
This Mega Man is a hot-tempered man, but still has a strong sense of justice and is also known for being very polite. His weak point is that he is easily rattled when backed into a corner. He is always running around in a hurry due to the demands of his partner Roll, hence why he is on his quest in this game. In combat, this robust fatty can take advantage of several techniques, such as utilising the Mega Buster, the Mega Uppercut, Ice Slasher, Thunder Beam, and Mega Cannon. If you manage to play through Street Fighter X Tekken using the character, who starred on what is often considered to be the worst video game cover of all time, we finally get to see what Mega Man does when he reaches the coveted Pandora's box. So let's just have a look.
Has the Pandora already opened? Oh no! Hurry up and take its power!
Roll. I'm not really sure, but there's nothing but a light coming from inside. I mean, there's nothing else in here.
I bet that means that the light is the source of its power. Maybe it's some kind of alien deflection light beam emitter. Mega Man, you have to absorb the power of that light. I'm sure it's going to make an amazing weapon.
The light? I don't understand!
Mega Man tried to assimilate the light coming from Pandora, but despite his best efforts, he ended up going home empty-handed. On the way home, Mega Man became worried about letting his friend Roll down. But upon returning, he found that Roll had already found a new potential weapon. With no time to take a breather, Mega Man is sent off once again to try and get a powerful new weapon.
So, as you can see from all of this, the character was very clearly a tongue-in-cheek joke, but a debate still raged whether this fighter not just poked fun at the old North American box art for the character, but the franchise overall, especially given how little serious attention Capcom had given to Mega Man in recent years. To put things into perspective with how little Capcom cared about the character in the early 2010s, by 2013 Keiji Inafune would leave Capcom to start a Kickstarter campaign to fund a new classic Mega Man-like game that would be known as Mighty No. 9. Part of Inafune's pitch for the game was built around Capcom's alleged neglect of the Mega Man series by their owners Capcom. So, by funding his project directly, he claimed he would deliver a new, high-quality Mega Man style game. Looking back on all of this, if you're into conspiracies, it makes you wonder if Inafune purposely encouraged the presence of bad box art Mega Man to help aid him in pushing his Mighty No. 9 genre the following year. After many long delays with Mighty No. 9, it would end up being received very lowly, with IGN giving the game just 5.6 out of 10, saying it's charmless and full of poorly executed ideas. Mighty No. 9 fails to entertain despite its legendary pedigree. So even if bad box art Mega Man was an inside job to defame the character, Mighty No. 9 was considered even worse, with the likes of Polygon awarding the Wii U version 5 out of 10, stating that this feels like an answer to why Capcom isn't making Mega Man games anymore. In a twist that in some ways was a direct kick in the teeth to Inafune, 1 year after Mighty No. 9 hit shelves, Capcom would announce Mega Man 11, an official return to the classic Mega Man formula. This game would end up receiving rave reviews, delivering exactly what Inafune said Capcom would never do again. Maybe the colossal amount of money that Mighty No. 9's Kickstarter raised is what helped encourage them to make a new Mega Man game, as it gauged there truly was still a hunger for a traditional Mega Man game. Either way, this return to form was far less humiliating for the Blue Bomber than his controversial appearance in Street Fighter X Tekken. But to be fair, they are clearly two different characters anyway. For an additional interesting fact for you, while many are familiar with bad American box art Mega Man, who less people will be familiar with on the North American continent is questionable European box art Mega Man. My continent would get this strange looking live action-esque fellow who resembles a real boy, with this rather menacing Dr. Wily also featured on the cover. If you think this was weird, European Mega Man 2 box art was even odder, with us getting this strange silver Mega Man who looks like he was drawn for something from the 1950s. Essentially, there is a whole universe of bad box art Mega Men who deserve to be explored in more detail. As for the American Dream, he also made more appearances beyond his box art debut and Street Fighter X Tekken appearance, showing up in the first issue of Archie Comics Mega Man, whereby there's a joke about Dr. Light changing Rock into Mega Man. It's mentioned that the upgrade process wasn't pretty, with Mega Man being shown to have the same appearance as his bad box art incarnation. In Mega Man ZX Advent, he makes an appearance in the Secret Disc Legendary Hero. The disc description is a collection of rare digital photographs of legendary heroes. These legendary heroes look more like coal miners in colourful outfits. Before showing up in Street Fighter X Tekken, bad box art Mega Man was also set to appear as a playable character in another Capcom game, known as Mega Man Universe. Sadly though, like Mega Man Legends 3, this game was cancelled, supporting Capcom's anti-Mega Man narrative further. Amusingly, bad box art Mega Man even makes a cameo in the Resident Evil 3 remake demo, featured in posters and other merchandise built around the character located in a toy store above a subway station. Anyway, as mentioned earlier, make sure you subscribe, as that would really help me out. And if you enjoyed this one, check out my video on this M. Bison ripoff and why he was censored. Yeah, cheerio.